Quick stop, the javelin. No, man, for a quick stop. That's good, that's good. Oh, that's good, real good. Huh? That's good.
A red, white, and blue 1970 Javelin made its debut here at the 24 Hours of Daytona. The longest, toughest endurance motor race on this continent. It was here for a countdown. The most important racing journalists in the world had a lot to say about the new Javelins and the champions who are going to race them this season.
Hi, Pete Barlow from Car and Driver here with Ed Ingalls from Auto Week, and we're having a little difficulty covering this event, and particularly this location, because of the number of people you can see around here. They're probably the most excited group of people and journalists here because of the fact that Penske and Mark Donohue have decided to run a Javelin this year in the Trans Am Series.
I am Jebby Kronbach, the editor and publisher of Sport Auto in Paris and Frankfurt. I'm here to cover the 24 Hours of Daytona.
I'm Chrissy Conamacki, editor and publisher of National Speed Sport News.
Just looking at this start, the standard of the preparation is absolutely fantastic.
Where Roger Penske goes, the crowds go, because he brings in winners. And it looks as though he perhaps has one here in this Javelin.
I think it's interesting, Ed, that American Motors picked Roger. He's a proven car preparation man. He's got proven drivers. And the approach American Motors has taken in that they surely want to win the series. They have allied themselves with the man who has won the series before, and it's going to give Roger an opportunity to work with new cars, new engineers, and new equipment.
Two-time winner of the Trans Am Series, Mark Donohue.
We're here to try to work out the durability program on this Javelin so that we'll know when we start the first Trans Am race how good each individual part is, what his life and expected maintenance schedule will be.
His crew call him captain. It's been said he runs his organization like a battleship. He's fast becoming one of the most important names in auto racing, Roger Penske.
Switching from Chevrolet to American Motors, of course, was a big decision to make at the end of last year. But looking over the American Motors Javelin in the past 2 years, both Mark and I felt that it had great potential. And also it was a great challenge to take a car that probably had not had its chance to do what its potential was in racing and take it to our shop and work on it using our engineering techniques, putting it with American Motors and the effort of the fellas back in Kenosha and in Detroit. We felt we could come up with a winner.
This is the first effort on our part with a Javelin. We're hoping that we'll be able to all the parts that we made for the car are new. We're new with the car itself, but we don't know what problems and other things will come up. We're trying to get experience. Experience is the only way you can be successful in racing, and we're getting experience with this car.
Going to Daytona is just part of a preparatory exercise in trying to come up with the best car for the first Trans Am race, which will be at Laguna Seca in approximately 2 months. We'll have run the total Trans Am distance by the time we finish Daytona and Sebring.
3 o'clock Saturday afternoon, the last day of January, and the start of the 24 Hours of Daytona. Ferrari, Porsche, Corvette, Camaro. But the strongest competition is the clock. For Mark Donohue, a calculated programming of the track. Each turn, each shift is part of a master plan.
If everything is going right, we should be turning 6,500 RPM in high gear. This will get up to roughly 6,800 or 6,900 by the time we hit the banking. The highest speed is achieved just coming off the banking, just before, down this little short chute just before the start-finish line bend, which is a 15-degree banking. There, we're able to get almost 7,000, sometimes 7,100 at least at the moment in the car, which is about 162 or 3 miles an hour. Approaching the first turn, you're going kind of downhill coming off the banking, and it's important to get in deep because you're traveling at a high rate of speed, and usually we have yard markers there, and usually this type of car will get down past the 200-yard marker before we have to put the brakes on. The short chute behind the pits is just long enough to get get into third gear for a minute or two, then I have to go right back to second to get around the 180-degree turn, which we call turn 2. Pit stops are a very important part of racing, whether it's Daytona or the Trans Am or wherever. Indianapolis is included. And this is really a tremendous time for us to practice our Trans Am fueling stops, tire changes, and so forth. And as we're going to be doing it for 24 hours, you've got to get better if you practice at it.
10 o'clock, and the racers pound on into the night. The Javelin averages 108 miles per hour over the 3.8-mile twisting, turning road course. Javelin trails the factory prototypes of Porsche and Ferrari, but is first in its class. Driver changes occur every 4 hours, with pit stops every 50 minutes for gas and tire checks. Nine hours of Daytona grind and the car is broken. Disappointment, but invaluable experience.
We ran 9 hours and feel that we learned quite a bit from running 9 hours there, even though the race was 24 hours. Our suspension, driveline components came out very well through the test, and we think that even though we had an engine problem, it's not something that can't be solved. We will attempt to solve it for the next go.
Of course, you're always disappointed when you can't finish a race. However, to finish a 24-hour race is quite difficult. We were quite happy at the end of 6.5 hours. We were running 11th overall. This was ahead of the Corvettes and the other Camaros. And basically, the only cars ahead of us were the 3 factory prototype Porsches and the prototype Ferraris. Basically, our testing proved that we have an engine that will run easily the maximum length of a Trans Am race, which is 2.5 hours, and our suspension, our brakes, and our axles and transmissions proved to come through without any failures at all.
We won the series last year and the year before, but that doesn't make it any easier for us to win it this year, because certainly it won't get us anywhere by going to the first race and throwing our press clippings out ahead of us to tell everybody what we're going to do. We have to produce with performance and with fast pit work and with reliable cars and with good engines. And we feel that we have the best in the business in those areas.
As a result of our Daytona test, we're even more confident that we'll have a winning combination starting at the first Trans Am in California. It takes the will, of course, of the crew and also real good equipment in order to have a strong and winning combination for the Trans Am Series. I'm sure our fellows are keyed up. They're happy with the car. I know both the drivers, Mark and Peter, did an excellent job, and we're happy with the performance that Revson gave us for the first time. And I think that the overall effort is going to be a winning one starting in April at Laguna Seca.
9 hours of Daytona, an exercise in preparation for a long, tough summer. A season that promises success with a winning combination of Penske Racing and American Motors. Javelin, out to make Trans Am headlines for you all summer long.
The place, Texas. The day, Sunday, February 4th, 1968. The man, Craig Breedlove, holder of the world's land speed record at 600.601 miles per hour. 6 seconds it took him to roar through a measured mile on the Bonneville Salt Flats, he became the fastest man on Earth. This is a record of Craig Breedlove's newest assault on the record books. A race against the sun. An attempt to drive a new all-American sports car faster and farther than any light motor vehicle has ever gone in 24 hours. First, weeks of preparation, beefing up the body for safety reasons, but no tampering with integral parts. To win a world's record, the cars have to be stock right off the assembly lines. The finishing touches. Final car inspection by the United States Auto Club officials who must sanction all record attempts. Then a date with destiny on a 5-mile bank track in Texas. A roaring start, and the hundreds of seconds start ticking off. 3 hours and nearly 500 miles later, Breedlove watches as one of his co-drivers, Lee Breedlove, wife, mother of 5, tools the family car around at 157 miles an hour. Craig had set a blistering pace in the cool early hours of the morning, and Lee floors it for 2 solid hours. And in the timing shack, the precision equipment clicks off the miles in milliseconds. 2 new records. Another, and international automobile history is being made.
5, 3, 1.
Pit stop. Driver change. And Ron Dykes takes over to charge through the long afternoon. At 6 hours and 48 minutes, a big one falls. Another pit stop. Again, Craig takes over. The car thunders on. An endurance run is the ultimate punishment for man and the machine. The best and surest way to evaluate an automobile's performance. American Motors engineers are laying it on the line with the cruelest road test an all-new car ever faced. Twilight. Night. And still the pace doesn't slow. Another pit stop by floodlights.
Driver change.
gonna get it anyway. Hey, baby. Look, I got the fuel pump ticket. Yeah. Well, it's running beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
The lights go out at 10 hours and 20 minutes. A minor part fails. Good attempt, and a handful of records for Breedlove and the AMX. But the 12-hour was 6,000 heartbeats away. It's all over. Incredibly, Craig Breedlove does not come in. He stays on the track, driving by instinct, letting the car feel its way along the bank at a fantastic inky black 150 miles an hour. A nightmare lap. Another.
Turn the headlights on. Let's go.
Then, with a ring of lights from parked cars along the track, Craig Breedlove races on to capture what must be the most gallant 12-hour record ever won.
What do you think, we blew or something? Oh.
A well-earned pit stop.
Really, huh? We learned a lot today. Didn't we?
A new electrical connection. An all-over check. Out again.
1139.8.
But he doesn't back off. With the blinding early speed, if the car holds together, they can coast home and finish the 24 hours. But the AMX team is out to bust the car or bust the records wide open. Round and round, hour after hour. At dawn, another pit stop. Minutes away now. Seconds away. One more lap. And then Craig Breedlove roars through the electronic breakers one last time for the biggest one of all.
Way to go.
Box score. A fantastic 3,378 miles in 24 hours at an average speed of over 140 miles an hour. 38 miles an hour over the old record. Every Class C record from 25 kilometers to 24 hours. More than 90 new records, American and international, come to America and American Motors and Craig Breedlove. The AMX has won its colors. When they talk about this one, they'll call it the Texas Takeover.
Mark Donahue, age 35, graduate engineer, Brown University, class of 59. Probably the most complete race driver in the world today. Roger Penske, age 35, graduate Lehigh University, also class of 59, and the other half of the Penske-Donahue team. The American Motors Javelin, 304 cubic inch V8 engine, tough, experienced, fast. and the car to beat in the Trans Am Challenge. The schedule reads like the stops on the Long Island Railroad: Lime Rock, Laconia, Lexington, Elkhart Lake, Saint-Genevieve, Watkins Glen, and Irish Hills. For Mark Donahue, who finished second in today's race, it's been just another long day. But for George Fulmer, who finished first, it's been a long, happy one. Even though on the racetrack, Donahue and Fulmer are fierce competitors, off the racetrack, they're the best of friends. And even though at this point in the 10-race series, Fulmer is ahead 2 victories to 1, there's always next time. And for Mark Donahue, that's all that matters. June 20th, Edmonton. Donahue and Penske. A victory today, and it's all even. 2-2.
Cars chasing cars, playing tag, finding homes, coming in, gassing up, spinning out. Then playing games with their lives in a race against time. They had to get out.
First Donahue, then Fulmer. Then Fulmer, then Donahue. The lead changes 7 times in the first 50 miles. While in the pits, the competition is just as fierce, and perhaps even more dangerous.
Bob chasing George, chasing Bob, going wide, shifting down. George chasing Mark, chasing George, with but one thing in mind, and that's just to win.
75 laps, 188 miles. But when it's all over, the 10-race series is dead even. Fulmer 2, Donahue 2. The next 3 races are also won by the Donahue-Penske Javelin team. An almost incredible 5 out of 7, with only 3 races to go.
Pretty girls in pretty dresses, playing games with all the boys, looking no's but hoping yeses,
917.51 miles of racing from Lime Rock, Connecticut to Riverside, California. 10,872 left turns, 12,107 right turns, 10 races, 7 victories, and for Donahue, Penske, and Javelin, a most impressive answer to the Trans Am Challenge.